Hello punters and welcome back to another Saturday Racing preview. Of course, in this video looking at the meeting at Randwick tomorrow. So if you have come across in the Caulfield video, you would have mentioned, or you would have heard that I mentioned that we're going to be racing at Rose Hill. No, we are not. It's definitely at Randwick. So my apologies with that one. I probably should know considering I've just been doing the form there and I've been looking at it quite a lot throughout the week. So my mistake on that one. But yeah, racing at Randwick tomorrow. Really looking forward to it. Obviously, it is spearheaded by the Group 1 George Main Stakes. Really looking forward to that race there. We've also got the Group 2 Shorts as well. A key lead-up race, the Everest. There's a few horses in that race that'll be really looking to put their hand up for one of the spare slots that are left in the Tab Everest. So really looking forward to that race there. But overall, it's a really nice card. I really love this card at Randwick tomorrow. I'll definitely be having a good play there. While Caulfield looks pretty difficult to decipher, I think that the Randwick meeting's actually got some really nice bets in it. So without any further ado, we're going to get straight into race number 1. We're racing on a good 4. First race on the program is going to kick off at 12:15. So if you are new here, obviously give a subscribe on the video. Up to 95 subscribers now, last time I checked. So almost at that 100 mark. I'd really appreciate if you guys can help me get to that mark, and I really appreciate any of you that have subscribed already. It's greatly appreciated. Obviously leave a like on the video and comment any of your thoughts down below, and any I guess if you've got any questions for me on certain runners or certain races, or if you want to dispute some of my things, or just give your overall thoughts on what you really like tomorrow, we can have that good discussion down in the comments. I always enjoy it every single week. So please do that. And obviously I love to get you guys involved just as much as I love doing these. So answering your questions or any of your thoughts is always something that I look forward to doing. So without any further ado, we get stuck straight to race number 1, benchmark 88 race over the 1200 metres. And look at the speed map here for this race. I think Prime Candidate and Partners will probably roll towards the front. I think Prime Star won't be too far off the speed, and Bound to Win might use inside barrier to roll up and get towards the pace somewhere. But look, I'm very keen on Prime Star here. I think this horse can get a perfect run the race. I loved its win last time out at the $17. Anyone who followed me in on one of these videos or on my social media, which if you haven't already done so, go give those a like. So it's _racing tips on Instagram and C-Lane Race Tips on Facebook. Obviously, I post all these tips as well as any tips during the week as well. I was very keen on Prime Star a few weeks ago at the big odds, and he got the job done. It was a really nice win, and I think he just looks to get a perfect run the race here again. He's in a nice race. I think it's very winnable for him, and he has a lot of upside. I think he's going to be hard to beat again. He's at $5.50, so I'm going to have a good play at him. I think great chance in the race. Just think he's going to be right in the finish, so he goes on top for me. Ahead of look, I've got number 2 Grand Piano as I mentioned because I think this horse is well over the odds. It's a horse who only lost once last preparation. That was in a Group 3 race. So I mean, he's got terrific form, and he might be looking for a bit further. He might not be the greatest first up performer, even though he did win first up last preparation. He hit some good form, and I'm be interested to see how he runs here. Obviously, an ex-John Thompson horse, so John Thompson has moved him on. I'm not sure what the go is there, but Stephen O'Halloran's taken over a few of John Thompson's horses and has done really well with them. So I think Grand Piano could be well within a chance here. I wouldn't be surprised if it runs a good race to $12. Sick goes in for second. Number 1 Prime Candidate would be right in the finish again. I really loved its first up run at Rose Hill. I thought that was a nice effort to lead all the way there and hold off the Flying Wonder Bar, who was flying home there on that occasion. I think this horse will be right in the finish again. Zakat will be right up there as well. I think I might have even had him higher up in my selections on my article on SEN Track. So if you haven't already done so, go check out SEN Track as well, both on the website sen.com.au and also on the socials as well. I've become a bit of a contributor on that site now over the last couple of weeks, so I'd appreciate you going and checking those out. And I have also done the preview for this card for them, so you can go check those out if you want to have a look at it in writing. So Zakat obviously has got a nice chance. It's been in good form recently. Really liked his second last start to Crystal Breeze. Ran home really nicely. Hasn't missed a placing so far this preparation. And in its career, it's only missed the placings twice from 13 runs. So it's really a horse that's quite consistent. You can take it on a good each way basis. The other horses I didn't mind in the race as well. Look, I think Bound to Win can run a good race first up here. It's been relatively well back for a first up assignment as well. So definitely off the inside barrier could be running a nice race. And a theory could look. Obviously, she's got a mountain of ability. She just was really poor last time out, but she was obviously really well held up. It was a horror watch. It's almost a bit of a forgive run on that occasion there. She was obviously extremely well backed, and Could definitely bounce back, but I just think $4, I can't get into her again after that. I mean, she did get held up for a long way. It was a bit of a forget run, but I just was hoping she'd give that little bit more into the line just to scream out back me next time out, whereas I just can't. I don't think I can jump into her again. It would surprise me if she comes out, runs well, though. She comes right down the weights, despite stepping out, obviously because she stepped up in grade. But look, I'm very keen on number 7 Prime Star here. I think it's a really nice bet for me, so I've got it on top. Of course, the millennial winner from the 2-year-old campaign, and in for second, I've got number 2 Grand Piano, who I'm also going to be having something each way on. I think it's got a very nice chance first up here. Number 1 Prime Candidate will be leading for a long way. Could be very hard to beat as well. And then number 6, The Cat, is another one who I've got in my numbers as well. So moving on to race number 2 on the program. Now we've got the Tab Highway Handicap, Class 3 over the 1,000 metres here, and we get to see the exciting It's Me go around again. $1.70 about it, though. I'm not sure about that one, but look at the speed map here. I think Galaxy Force might come up from the inside barrier. Toto, Shanayo is usually like a horse that rolls up towards the pace, so especially for barrier number 3, I don't think I want to be caught too far back. Toro will be up there. Vibrant Night will be up towards the speed. So I can see plenty of pace on this race, which will suit the favourite It's Me. And look, I have got it on top, but I'm not going to be having a bet on it. I think that while she probably will be winning, she's heading towards a Kosciuszko. It's a very good chance for it as well. Just think that there is a couple of queries. She's done 2 wins on a soft track. She now comes back on top of the ground. She's got to tick that off. She comes back from the 1,100 metres last up back to the 1,000 metres, so she's got to again do that as well. But she looks really well set up here. The race looks to pan out perfectly for her. Is drawn well, and I think she'll be hard to beat. But I think $1.70 could definitely entertain having a go at that. In the second, I've got number 4 Toro. I didn't mind his first up run at Wyong, and finished behind 2 horses in Bombassay and Partners, who I think are 2 horses that could be really competitive in this. Obviously, I think Partners goes around in the race before, so we'll get a bit of a read into what that type of form is like with Toro. Second up here, I think we'll see a bit of improvement out of it at the $7.50, so it goes in for second. In the third, I do have number 8 Bright Rubik, who I think will be hitting the line pretty nicely, and it's been pretty strongly backed, open up at $21 and into 12. It's got really good form for coming to a race like this. Last preparation and ran in some group companies, so I mean that's as strong as you can get really for form. And while I do can see it's going to be looking for a bit further, probably a horse looking for about 1,400 metres to a mile. It could run a bold race and be hitting the line well. Not sure if it's a winning chance, but definitely has the class to potentially be in the finish, so it goes in for third. Then in for fourth, I've got number 3, Show Me the Honey, but I am going to be having something each way on this horse because he's a very good fresh performer. He's had 4 starts for 2 wins and a placing. He obviously is going to really enjoy the speed along with the favourite. He's drawn next to the favourite, so should be able to come into the race with It's Me. Hopefully It's Me doesn't burn him off too quickly, though. That'll really dampen his spirit. But like I said, just because he's such a good fresh performer, I just couldn't understand how he's $67. I mean, it's not an extremely strong highway race outside of the favourite, which is why It's Me is $1.70. So I'm going to be with him on a bit of an each-way basis. He is my 4th selection, but I will be having something small on him at the $67. It's definitely worth a bet. But look, I think number 15, It's Me, is going to be extremely hard to beat. So she'll go on top for me, but I'm not going to be having a bet on her at the $1.70. No thanks. So probably looking for, look, $2.40 is probably not a bad price, but I can't see her under any circumstance getting out to that price here. So $1.70 is just a bit short for me with those couple of little queries. In for second, I've got number 4, Toro. In for third, I've got number 8, Bright Rubik. And then in for fourth, I do have number 3, Show Me the Honey, who, like I said, is going to be the one that I'm probably going to have a bet on in this race here. Moving on to race number 3 on the program now. It is the Shootout Mile benchmark 88 over the 1,600 metres. And looking at the speed map here of this race, I think Discharge will probably lead him out off the inside barrier. Rapido Chaparro and Fun Fact will also be up towards the pace as well. So Plush might roll forward from barrier number 2 there as well with that lack of speed to be, I guess, close enough in the run. Now, look, I do like a few horses back in the field here, which is a little concerning. I'm going to need him to go to strong tempo, but Rapido Chaparro usually rolls along at a good pace, so I'm hoping that horse can get out and set a nice tempo up for some of these back markers. And I've rolled in number 15 Nudge here, who I think is going to be hard to beat. I really liked its first up run over the 1,200 metres at Rosehill behind Prime Candidate Wonderbar. We get a good guide on that type of form from the first up run. So it was actually my second selection on my article, but in terms of betting perspective, it just seems a lot better chance than the favourite Opacity, which is horse number 8, who I do also like. I will be having a bit of a bet on both of them because I do think they're both very good chances in the race. This horse got a terrific second up record. I really liked. Obviously resumed first up behind Colding and Dreamforce in the Tramway. Only finished 3.5 lengths off Dreamforce there on that occasion. So that reads really well for a race like this for Opacity, and just needs the tempo to come into the race. If it can do so, it should be pretty hard to beat. So it goes in for second. For me, well, I had it as my top selection, but anyway, we'll roll with it. Number 9, Across Dubai, is an interesting runner for me here. Was a fourth first up behind Just Thinking and Fun Fact, and I didn't mind that run. And I think stepping out to the mile here, just that extra 100 metres, we'll see a better run from it second up. So I'm interested in its chances with James McDowell in the saddle, so it goes in for third. And then even fourth is the other one I didn't mind is number 4, Think It Over, who is knocking on the door for a win. Has had 2 good runs so far as preparation, a second and a third so far. The third last night behind Just Thinking Fun Fact was quite good. I didn't mind that run there. Obviously, Fun Fact's got to be given a chance. They, again, did beat Think It Over home last time out. Goes around $16 here. The step out to the mile as well, just that extra 100 metres will again suit this horse. It's a horse who's won over 2,000 metres plus, so won't have any problems stepping out to the mile. So it goes as a bit of a chance. It'll go in my quaddie. The other one, Nima Lee, has been in really good form. Has only missed a placing once in her 7-start career, so she's got to be given a chance as well in a race like this. And number 12, Discharge, probably rounds out the others of the main chances for me in this race here. But look, I have gone with number 8, Opacity, as my on-top selection, but number 15, Nudge, is probably the one I'm more keen to back. I just think that step from 1,200 metres up to 1,600 here, and I was just so impressed with that first up run. I thought that was terrific, and it's going to show plenty of benefit coming to this second up run. Obviously, Opacity is the other one that I want to have a good bet on. Number 9, Across Dubai, presents some interest here for me. And then for fourth, I've got number 4, Think It Over. Moving on to race number 4 on the program now. It is the first of the feature race of the day. Or when I say the feature race, first of the group races of the day. The T-Rose Stakes for the 3-year-olds over 1,400 metres. And the 3-year-old fillies, looking at this speed map for this race here. Looks a bit quiet at pace. I think Miraval, Miss Canada will probably roll forward. Dame Giselle likes to get up towards the lead. And I think every Rose Evangelic from their inside barriers will be pushing up to make the Dame Giselle the second favourite to work in the run here. And look, I really, there's a horse in this race I just think's massively over the odds. Now, I know she's $21 because I put her in my article on the tab price at $21, but I can see here on Sportsbet that she's $27. So I'm going to be with her. I think she's got the right form. She comes out of obviously a terrific run last time out behind Anders and Peltzer, and that was, of course, it was the San Domenico Stakes, and I think that is going to be one of the best form races for this spring, and it already has proven to be as such. Doubtland came out of that race and won the Danehill last week at Flemington. The other horse that race, Peltzer and Mamaragan, ran really well in the run to the Rose last week, so every Rose is $27 here, coming back against her own sex. So I just think that, coming against the girls, barrier number 1, she's just going to be right in the finish here, and I think $27 and $4.40 out of the place is a crazy price. So I've got her on top, and while I do concede the top 2 will be hard to beat, she's going to be the betting price for me. She's the one that I want to back. Number 3, Hungry Heart's obviously a very good horse. I love that first up run behind Dame Giselle. Very unlucky not to win. Is going to derive plenty of benefit off that first up run, and should show plenty of improvement to turn the tables on Dame Giselle. So Hungry Heart goes over second for me. And for third, number 1, James Giselle, who, like I said, obviously she's returned really well. She's had 2 wins so far as preparation. She'll be right up on the speed, and she'll be right in the finish again. She's been a really consistent filly so far, and I can't see any reason why she won't be again. So she'll be, again, hard to beat. So those two I did have as my on-top selections, but I just think that Every Rose is a much better betting chance for me in this race here. And the other one who I didn't mind in for fourth was number 5, Thermosphere. It's a horse who, you can feel that last run, the run prior, I mean, she probably should have beaten Dame Giselle on that occasion, was only narrowly beaten, absolutely flew her under the line. So return to that type of form, we'll see her run pretty good here. She shouldn't be a $20 shot, really. It was just that last start performance, and it's the only reason she's at this price, because she went around last start at $14, which was quite surprising to me. I did have a bit of a spec on her because I just thought it was well overs considering her running first up. But I think she could bounce back here. She is a winner third up as well, so could see a bit of improvement out of Thermosphere, potentially. Obviously, she does seem to enjoy a little bit of sting out of the track. That seems to be her main go, but again, wouldn't surprise me if she runs well. She's my 4th selection. Other chance in the race, Vangelic, comes into this second up after a 4th last time out behind Dangerous Cell and Hungry Heart. It's only 2 lengths off Dangerous Cell there. Other chance in the race, Miraval provides a little bit of interest here. The first up win at Warwick Farm in a maiden race beating Yangtze Rapids was a really nice performance. Now, Yangtze Rapids did get beaten today as a short price favourite at Newcastle, so not exactly great. Would have been great to see Yangtze Rapids come out and win and strengthen Miraval's chances, but I know trainer Mark Unum thinks it's got a good chance, so I will take that on board, and I do think that she does have a lot of ability and can improve off of that. So $46 about her is pretty over the odds. Stella Pauline for $31. I was keen on her last start, but she was quite disappointing for me, even though they weren't really running home from the back on that occasion. It was a bit of an on-speed dictated race, so if we get a bit more pace here, which we will do, perhaps some of these back marks could roll into it here. But look, I have gone with, I've got number 3, Hungry Heart, on top, ahead of number 1, Danger Cell, but my on-top selection is number 4, Every Rose, because it is the horse that I want to be backing. So, look, Every Rose is the horse that I got on top, obviously ahead of number 3, Hungry Heart and Danger Cell, who I have got as my on-top selections in my article, but I just think that, Every Rose is the better betting prospect in this race here. And the other chance in the race, if a 4th, I have got number 5, Thermosphere. I think it bounced back off that last start performance. Moving on to race number 5 now, we've got the Bill Ritchie over the 1400 metres. Really looking forward to this race here. It's a pretty competitive field, this. A couple of chances in this one. I think Cuba will probably lead them up from the middle barrier. Lera Main will probably look to dart forward. I think Brandenburg might push up off the inside barrier, but it's not a whole lot of speed. So for my on-top selection, probably she is going to need a bit more pace on. She's going to need a good tempo to roll into it, but I do think she's going to be really hard to beat. I loved her first up performance where she finished 2nd at Randwick behind Rahiran. Gets the weight swing on Rahiran there on this occasion. I expect that she'll drive plenty of benefit for that first up run. She's got a terrific second up record. 3 starts for 2 wins and a second. And look, she's going to really appreciate getting out to the 1400 here. That extra 200 metres is going to suit her nicely. In the past, she's had some terrific battles with Funstar, and look, Funstar's obviously a pretty nice mare herself. So I think probably it just looks to be the race for her here. I think that if the tempo is good enough, she'll be able to wind up down the outside and pick them off and finish over the top of them. 250 is very short, but it's probably right at the bottom of the price I want to take. So look, I'm going to personally take the risk. I'm going to hope that she drifts out a little bit tomorrow, but I do see her actually firming, because she's one of those horses in this race here where, this time of year you have a lot of punters who back the horses that they know really well, and as such, Probability is a horse that's well known, and in comparison to some of these, is a bit more of a betting prospect than some of the other ones who, when I say that, it's just people who might have a quick look at the form tomorrow and go, yeah, Probability, I know that horse, I'm going to back it. So that's sort of where I'm coming from. Like, some of that money will obviously dump into her. Whether the big series money goes into her, not too sure. But she looks hard to beat nonetheless. Look, I've given a chance to number 2, Brandenburg, who obviously is a multiple Group 1 placing horse, and he will improve off that first up run. He obviously finished down the track in the race in the Wink Stakes behind Very Elegant, Star of the Seas, but you can't really get much better form than that. No, he'll appreciate stepping back in grade here. I think much easier field. Barrier number 1, I'm hoping Natural Willer gives him a bit of a dig and rolls him up the inside and gets close to the speed, because he could be right in the finish here. He's a good chance. Number 7, Reloaded, is a horse who was absolutely flogged in the betting last time out in the tramway. Got back right at 550 and almost ran down Dreamforce and Colding on that occasion. That was a really nice run from Reloaded. He's come back nicely as a 4-year-old by the looks of things, and he'll be right in the finish here again. I think number 7, Reloaded. He's my 3rd pick. And then if a 4th, number 8, Rahiran, who, look, he's in terrific form at the moment. I just think that for me, he also just held out Probability last time out. The weight swing and the fact of Probability being first up, I just find it hard to see him beating Probability. He does have the wide barrier, so he's going to have to, find a spot. But look, he'll be in the finish. He's obviously in great form this preparation, so you can't really knock him. And he's paying a good price as well, $6 about him, considering how well he's been running this preparation. Is a very nice price. Now, I have left Le Romain out. I just think that he's past his best, but $20 about him is massive out of the odds. He obviously is the proven performer in this race. He is the the genuine Group 1 horse, but he is well past that best form. But it wouldn't surprise me if he runs a bit of a bold race, especially considering the race looks to map out pretty nicely for him as well. So he's probably the other chance that I've got in the race. Yeah, look, Cuba could probably run all right first up here. He's generally a horse that gets better the further in the preparation it goes, but might be able to stick on the speed. But yeah, look, I'm really keen on number 5, Probable here. I think it's just going to be hard to beat. Ahead of number 2, Brandenburger for second, who I think could be a good improver. In for third, number 7, Reloaded. In for fourth, I've got number 8, Rahiran. Moving on to the Quaddie Leagues, and it is the feature race of the day. Very nice to have it in race number 6 as well. The George Main Stake Group 1 race over 1,600 metres. Small field, but very competitive field as well. Look at the speed map here. I think Dreamforce will lead them up, and I don't really see any others challenging him. I think Colette might roll forward to get close to the pace, and Colding might use that outside barrier and the lack of speed to get into a prominent sprawl. But Dreamforce is going to lead and dictate, and he's going to give him something to catch, so he'll be in the lead for a long way, I'd suggest. Look, I've gone with number 6, Very Elegant on top. I do see $2.30 here on Sportsbet, but look, I don't think that's a backable price for me. I do think she's going to be hard to beat, but definitely isn't the price I want to be taking about her. Looking at her performance last start, she obviously just got over the top of the Star of the Seas. She's going to appreciate that little bit extra ground. But look, the price difference between the two is crazy. I mean, Very Elegant beat Star of the Seas by a nose. There's $2.30 here, and Star of the Seas is $8.50. So Star of the Seas got a great chance here. I think almost all these have a bit of claims. Colette's probably the only one who she's going to be looking for a bit further in this preparation, but she could run a good race as well. But look, Very Elegant is my on-top selection, but this is not a race I was overly keen on betting because it was a really hard race. I had number 3, Colding, as my second selection. I think that he can run a really nice race here. Third up now. I really liked his last up performance by Dreamforce. That was more like the Colding of old, and I think that he's had a little bit of a spell since then. That was a couple of weeks ago, my mistake. So for some reason I thought that's in August, but it was September. So I was impressed to see him bounce back to that type of form last start. $12 about him is pretty silly considering how good he ran last start. Avilius obviously has a good chance. I might have actually mixed that up. He might have been my second selection, but obviously the winner of the George Main last year, he's got a great second up record. His first up run was terrific. Slightly weaker race to some of these, though, that they've contested. This is a horse who's finished fourth behind Mr. Seal for New Long Prince last time out, but he really charged home nicely. He has a good second up record, 5 starts for 3 wins and a second, and I expect him to be running a good race here in the shorter field, so he goes in as my third selection. And in fourth, I do have number 2, Dreamforce. He was made to do a lot of work last time out. He had to roll across from an outside barrier and was really put under the pump. It was a tough run, and he continued to fight on. Once he did find the front, he did sort of slow it down a little bit and dictate it, but he spent a lot of petrol to get to the front. And he's not going to have such issues here from barrier number 1 and with hardly any speed, basically no speed horse in the race. He's going to be out probably, I can see him being on the lead on his own and dictating the terms, and he'll give him something to catch at the 550. So he's my 4th selection, but he can very easily be in the top 3 here. Look, other chance of the race, I just mentioned it. I think everyone's got a chance. I think number 5, Star of the Seas, massively over the odds, the 850. Again, a horse who only just got beaten by a nose by the favourite, Very Elegant. Very Elegant's $2.30. So, look, you can make great claims to Star of the Seas there. Number 4, Imaging, was really good first up in that same race. So it was hitting the line very nicely there. As a horse that can run well third up here. It has that extra one under the belt on some of these. And the other one who I thought wasn't a bad chance, obviously Collett, is probably the outsider of him, and I think that's probably fair. But she is looking for a bit further, but she has won over this range before. So, and I really do respect her as a horse. She was obviously back in the field behind Dreamforce and Colding, but I mean finished 10th, but it was only 2.2 lengths off Dreamforce there. So could see a bit of improvement to see her get a bit closer. $41 about her is a bit over the odds as well. So, all honesty, this is going to be a race where I probably do take the field in the quaddie because there is 7 of them, and as much as Very Elegant is my top selection, I won't be backing her, and I'll just be probably hoping that she does get rolled, to be honest, for the quaddie, and because it really is one of those races that's really open. I can't really split them. So, look, I have gone number 6, Very Elegant on top, because I think she is the best horse in the race. But just like I said, that price just does not appeal to me at all. I'd be more keen if she gets to around that $3 mark, but I don't think there's much chance she's going to get to that price. So she goes on top for me, but with not a lot of confidence. There's an open race here for me. If it's second, number 3, Colding. If for third, number 1, Avilius. Then if for fourth, number 2, Dreamforce. Moving on to race number 7 now. It is the shorts over 1100 metres. As I said, key feature lead-up race for the Everest. Obviously, one horse has already got a spot, Classic Legend. He resumes here. There's a couple other horses with the likes of Standout and Catalyst and Bivouac who will be trying to put their hands up for an Everest slot. Then even the likes of Eduardo and even Dirty Worker ran really well last time out as well. So interesting race this one. Look at the speed map. I think Grey Worm, Eduardo, Ball of Muscle will be all out on the speed. Splintex usually likes to roll forward. Be interesting to see where Bivouac goes, whether he goes back in the field from that outside barrier or to try and lob midfield like he usually does. But it's a bit of a risk because he could end up stranded a little bit out from that outside barrier. I think he'll be hoping that some of those, that Splintex in particular, just drawing one gate inside him, just roll forward, and that will give him a chance to sort of slot into midfield with a bit of cover. But look, I was very interested in this race here. There's a horse who I think can run really well first up, and it's number 7, Standout, who was really good last preparation in that first up run. He was a little bit disappointing after that, but he went into top racing. But he finished second behind he beat Elite Safe first up last preparation. So I think a similar run here could see it run well, and I think he's in for a big preparation. I think he's come back nicely. He's probably matured a lot better now as a 4-year-old, and he's had some good trials leading in. I've been pretty impressed with those, and I think he'll be running a bold race first up here. So he's my on top selection at the $4.50. Very keen to have a go at him. He's had some good early support as well. He opened up at $8.50. He's now $4.50. So I think he's got a great chance tomorrow. This just seems to be his race, and I'm going to have him on top. Out of number 3, Classic Legend, who I do like, and I think I love him as a horse. I think he's a star, and I think he's going to be very, very close to winning the Everest this year. And he obviously has had a good trial leading in. He was very good when he came for that first up run in the winter. He had only just the one run at Randwick, and he won that pretty nicely, beating Southern Lad on that occasion. And I think he will need this first up run. Obviously, this isn't his grand final. He's got a race further on in mind. I do think he'll be in the finish, but just not sure about if he can win or not. But he is $5, a decent enough price for me, so he goes in for second. In for third, I've got number 1, Bivouac, who I do think will run well and is likely to take the Godolphin slot, although Trekking also will be in the mix for that. I think it is between those two, though, to who gets the Godolphin Everest slot. But Bivouac, look here, I expect him to run pretty well first up. Obviously, his form last preparation was excellent. His Newmarket win was phenomenal. He might just be that fraction sharp for him first up, but at the same time, he's a quality horse, and he comes back as a 4-year-old again. Similar Standout could show a bit more of maturity and run pretty well first up here. So I'm keen to see how he can run. $4.20 though, I'm not sure he should be the favourite, to be honest. I think Classic Legend and definitely has better claims than him. So I'm surprised Classic Legend isn't the favourite, to be honest. But number 2, Catalyst, goes in for 4th as well. I think this horse for Clayton Chipperfield's got plenty of ability, and we saw that last preparation when who could forget that CSH Stakes race where they went basically tooth and nail all the way up the straight of the Flemington, and it finished in a head bob with Alligator Blood getting the job done. That was a superb race, and he really established himself as a serious horse when he ran well in that race there, number 2, Catalyst. And I think he could be in for a good run first up here. He's obviously got the inside barrier, and the hope is there to get the Everest slot. He obviously is a bit more of a wet tracker. He probably wants a bit of sting out of the track, which he won't get here, but I think he could run well enough first up. $8.50 is a good price about him as well. Other chance in the race, I thought number 5, Eduardo, was worth a shout. He's been excellent since he's come to the Joseph Pride stable. He's 2 from 2 so far, and he both on wet tracks though, so he comes back on top of the ground. So a little bit of a query there, but $8 is a good price. Number 8, Grey Worm. I really can't understand how this horse can't win either at the $11. It's probably a horse that can have a bit of an each-way spec. It's obviously one of his toughest tasks to date, but he was half a length second of Trekking in a trial, so he has tried up really nicely coming into this, and just the one trial as well. So he's very good first up. 4 starts for 3 wins first up. He's probably likes to look for that fraction of a bit further, but it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't run well. He's very good here at Randwick as well. He's had 5 starts to the track for 3 wins and 2 placings, so he's also got a chance at Dirty Works, probably flying a bit under the radar. I love that first up run at Randwick over 1,000 metres behind Geetra and Nature Strip, and that's probably the standout form, really. My only quick query with him is that his second up form hasn't been great in the past, but neither is his first up form. He ran really well first up, so maybe he's come back a better horse with a bit more maturity, so he could run pretty well here as well. But recap the numbers for me. I have gone number 7, Standout. I think this is his race, so he goes on top for me, ahead of number 1, Bivouac in for second. Number 3, Classic Legend in for second. In for third, number 1, Bivouac, and then in for fourth, number 2, Catalyst. Moving on to race number 8 now, we've got the Kingston Town Stakes over 2,000 metres. Pretty deep field here and a lot of horses in it. Really good forward to it. I think Taikamochi will probably lead them up, but I think Angel of Truth probably roll forward. Sick and Darabad, Wu Gok will be up there. And Sir Charles Road and Miss Sentimental won't be far away either. So looking interesting race from a speed map perspective. I found this race pretty hard to play, to be honest. There's a lot of value involved in it, but there's also a lot of unknowns as well. I think Zabrowski's an interesting horse because it's been well backed again, but I was hoping for a bit more last time out from him, but I think he will appreciate the step out to the 2,000 metres. So I have gone with him on top ahead of number 9, Shared Ambition, but it's not necessarily a race I'm 100% keen on. Shared Ambition was a long way back last time out. The closing sectionals were really good. Its last 400, last 200 were very, very sharp, and hopefully he doesn't get as far back. I mean, from barrier number 16, I can see what's going to happen. He's probably going to have to go back in the field and be ridden negatively again, and he's going to have to just hope for a bit of tempo to come into the race. But I do think he can run well enough, and he will appreciate stepping out 2,000 metres, so he'll be right in the finish again at the $5. Other chances, Angel of Truth has a good chance at these $8. I didn't mind this horse's first up run behind Man of Peace, and then it came out last start, finished 5th behind Mr. Seawolf and Yulong Prince. So same race as number 9, Shared Ambition, actually bet at home. So the difference with him is he'll be up on the pace, and there's not a whole lot of speed in this. So he should be able to get a good run and be right in the race till the finish. And the other chance I didn't mind in for my 4th selection was number 11, Karif, who third up here doesn't have a good record third up. But I just think bouncing up in distance to the 2,000 metres, we could see a bit of improvement from this horse. Wasn't overly confident, just thought it was a bit of value at $26 and could potentially run a good enough race. Mustajir obviously will probably run much better than it did first up, coming to this second up. Sikadarabat was quite good first up for Sam Kavanagh. I didn't mind that run there where he finished second behind Mugger 2, who came out, won the Newcastle Cup today. So the form's there for Sikadarabat to run well. But look, honestly, Life Less Than Ordinary is another one who probably will run a better race than it did first up here, stepping out and trip. But very tough race. So I have gone with number 14, Zabrowski, on top ahead of number 9, Shared Ambition. The other chances in the race, I've got in for third, number 1, Angel and Truth. Then in for fourth, number 11, Karif. But look, honestly, it's probably a race I'm going to bypass in terms of having a bet on. It's a very tough race. It's probably something that you want to be looking at something a bit of odds, I reckon, to have a bit of a play out each way. But for me, look, very tough race, and there's not a whole lot that stands out to me on paper, to be honest. So moving on into the final race of the program now. It's race number 9. It's benchmark 78 over 1,400 metres. Look at the speed map here. Looks to be a fair bit of pace. I think got unders will get 4. Petronius, Academy usually likes to roll forward, but did come off the pace last time out to win. Enlighten Me, Animate, Willow Heart and Spanish Point will all be looking to roll forward as well in the race. But I'm pretty keen on Animate here. I think this horse 40 to 1 is crazy. I mean, it's a horse who's got 2 from 2 second up. Obviously, the first up run wasn't terrific, but Prime Cano did lead all the way there, and Wonderbar came chasing from, I think, from about midfield. So Animate was a long sort of, I guess, back in the field. But this is also stepping down in grade, so from benchmark 88 down to 78. Second up here, which it does perform a bit better. Is a horse that has traditionally run better on wet tracks, but it's a horse who has only missed a placing twice in its career from 8 starts and could show sharp improvement here. 41 to 1 is massively over the odds. Ahead of number 9, Crederas, who looks a very smart horse, and I'm keen to see what this horse can do. But $2.60 is way too short for me, so I've got to see it do it first to this type of level before I can jump into it. So it goes in for second. Another horse that I thought was massively over the odds as well was number 14, Petronius, who will be up on the speed and probably leading a long way. It was only just narrowly beaten by all-time legend and Ed Air last time out. I could think it'll run a much better race for second up here and could definitely improve enough to win the race. So it's got a chance. And the other one is Ice Bath, who I've got in for fourth. It's been pretty unlucky so far, this preparation. It could bounce back. I don't mind Academy. There's some pretty good odds at the $17 as well. Very nice price for a last start winner. Other chances in the race. Well, Occupy's also got a great second up record. This horse has 3 starts for 2 wins and a placing second up. And first up ran at Doomben, where it was a $4.60 shot on that occasion. It was pretty disappointing there, but I think it had excuses there. Put up with a bit of an issue on that occasion, I believe. And 100 to 1 here it goes. So it goes from $4.60 last start in a Class 6, albeit it is going, I guess, into a bit of a tougher race. But 100 to 1, really? Like, you could find much worse 100 to 1 shots. Put it this way, I'll be putting it in the quaddie because it wouldn't surprise me if it pops up for a win, and I might even have something each way on it as well. But look, again, a tough race in the final race of the card, but I think Animate can run well, so it goes on top for me ahead of number 9 Quaddie. So I'm really interested to see what that horse can do. In race start number 4, obviously is undefeated so far, very good horse. And in for third, I've got number 14 Petronius, and then in for fourth, number 10 Ice Bath. Now, look at the best bets of the program. All right, so the best bet for me of the entire meeting, I'm going to roll with. I was very keen to go with Probabil in race number 5, but I'm going to go with in race number 1, and it is number 7 Prime Star at the $5.50. Just think it's a very nice value, and it looks while it is a deep race, I think it's a horse that's on the up. It's obviously was the millennial winner as a 2-year-old and has upside, and I like that last start win. So it goes on top for me. Number 7 Prime Star is my best bet of the program. The second best bet, look, I am going to go with number 5 Probabil. It's an open race. $2.50 doesn't really excite me, but I do think this will be her race tomorrow. So she's my second best bet of the program. Best value sort of each way plays of the program. I don't mind in race number... race number 4 in the T Rose, and it is number 4 every rose. So I just thought it's well over the odds at the $27. So race number 4 every rose is a good each way value play of the program. And the other one I don't mind comes in race number 3. It is number 15 Nudge at the $8. So I didn't mind her passing in that race as well, but I just think Nudge is good value at the $8 there. So that's going to be my other best value play of the program. Now, moving on into the Quaddie Selections. So look, the early Quaddie is probably not something I'm overly keen on playing at Rose Hill, but regardless, if any of you do want to get on, there's probably going to get a good percentage for it. So we're probably... But with the likes of Probabil and It's Me at the short quotes, it's probably not something that's going to have a extreme amount of value. But look, leg number 1, race number 2, I've got 1, 3, 4, 8, 15. So 1, 3, 4, 8, 15 and leg number 1, race number 2. Leg number 3, leg number 2, race number 3. 1, 4, 8, 9, 12, 15 and 16. So it's 1, 4, 8, 9, 12, 15 and 16. Leg number 3, race number 4, I've got 1, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So it's 1, 3, 4, 5 and 6 in leg number 3, race number 4. And then leg number 4, race number 5, I've got 2, 5, 7 and 8. So that's 2, 5, 7 and 8. $150 will get you about 20% in that run there. So you could take it and barrack for the short price favourites, some of the shorties to get rolled. But look, for me, it doesn't really look like I guess a quaddie that's going to have a whole lot of value involved in it. So probably one I want to bypass. But as for the late Quaddie Selections, I've gone with the field in leg 1, race number 6. So the field in leg 1, race number 6. Like I said, it's tough because while Very Elegant I think can win, I'm not 100% confident on going with the $2.30. So you could definitely, if you want to take the field in that race and really barrack for one of the outsiders, which I think is a good possibility because it is an open race there. So I've got that. And in leg number 2, race number 7, I've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 10. Leg number 2, race number 8, I've got 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14. So 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14. And then in leg number 4, race number 9, 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, and 14. So 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, and 14. So $200 to get you around that 10. So I think just over 9%. So probably we might want to go a little bit more than that. Maybe. What about if we get? I mean, you don't have to follow these outlays either. If you don't want, you can, I guess, take it your own way and use some of my thoughts, my selections to make your own quaddie. $2.50 gets you around that 12% mark, just over 12%. So it doesn't sound like a whole lot, and it's obviously a bit of an outlay, but I think that there's a chance that there could be a fair bit of value involved, especially if we get Occupy or Animate up in the last to knock off the short favourite there. But look, the quaddies don't excite me as much at Randwick as they do it at Caulfield. So if you haven't already, go watch my Caulfield preview and you're keen to have a quaddie tomorrow, maybe go check those ones out because probably a little bit more keen. But in saying that, I will be having a crack at the quaddies tomorrow, as always do. So good luck if you're playing tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. As always, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe, comment, like down below of any of your thoughts on the races tomorrow, and anything that you like, any feedback as well, always well appreciated. Goes to give my social media channels a follow. CLane_racing tips on Instagram and CLane race tips on Facebook. And obviously go give SCN Track a bit of a go as well, not just for the tips. We get all sorts of racing stories on there, and obviously the newest radio station of SCN, and you can find it on the app. So go and give them a bit of a follow as well for some of my content and some of the other guys' content on there as well. Really good racing platform that's building up. So hopefully plenty of you can get around that, and hopefully be something that's quite good going forward in the future with racing. So good luck for playing tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, really appreciate it and enjoy the racing tomorrow.